Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, the King of the universe, the King of all, and his beloved Son's true name is Yahweh Shai. The word Yahweh meaning he be or he present. Hawa also takes you back to the root word Haya. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Forgive me for that. There was I got the call from Bishop Sakaram, which he calls right. Normally he calls a little bit, maybe 10 minutes after 11, but it's called right on time. So forgive me for that. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna title this video, if I didn't entitle it already, the moon and the new moon, understanding the moon and the new moon. I'm gonna show a clip from this video put up by IUIC, New Moon, Enemy of the State, Part 1. And I'm going to also go into a list I put together that we hit a handful of scriptures from this list I put together entitled Honoring the Name of the Most High and His Son. So coming back to the definition of the word Yahweh is he present, or he be, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai, Yah meaning he, and Hawah Shai meaning delivered. Now the blue letter, if you go to Jesus in the English, it'll tell you it's from the Greek word Jesus, then it goes, which is from the Hebrew word. The Greek way of trying to pronounce the Hebrew word is Yahweh Shai, and they say it's really Yahweh, what is it? Yahweh Shawai. And they say it's Yahweh, which means the name of the Most High. Shawai means save. It doesn't mean that. Because the angel Gabriel broke it down. It says, you shall call his name Yahweh Shai, for he, Yah, shall save Hawah Shai, his people, from their sins. So blue letter went off on that. It definitely went off on that. There was a name. There was Joshua was in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, which his name was before he came up under second in command of Moses. Mashah gave him the prefix he. It was Hoshea or Hawashai, and then he said, no, your name is he, Yahushai, Yahushai. See, once you understand, you'll understand if you understand Hebrew. I used to teach Hebrew. You got Christians that'll say Yeshua. They might have it on the T-shirts. And then you ask them to break it down. Okay, break the word down. Is it a compound word or does it mean one thing? They don't know. They'll just look at it. They'll be familiar with the characters, but they don't know how to break it down. So Christians are dead. Oh, they got a new thing. You got one video I was watching. One of the brothers or the elders put up how there's people leaving the church system. Jehovah Witness, they spoke on the Jehovah Witness. And there's a new thing in the Jehovah Witness. Now men, I guess at one time, they would encourage you not to have a beard. So now men can grow beards now. And the reason why that's partial reason or a big reason why that's happening is because people are watching the various Israelite groups and they're shaking their head yes more than they're shaking their head no. And they're learning the scriptures they're really learning the scriptures from us. Jeremiah 1, it speaks about I shall make Jeremiah, which applies to all of us if we claim to be prophets unto the nations. That's talking about the Israelites and the other nations. So now you have these Christians tweaking their lessons on how they teach. Okay, let's go to the Hebrew. Okay, that's from the Greek word. Let's pull out a map. They never used to do that in church. Where you ever go to a church where they pull out a map of the ancient world? Where they went into the actual Hebrew. You know, they never did that. So anyway, let me just open with this. I don't know how long this is going to be. Maybe short, maybe long. I'll try to make it somewhere in the middle. Because I know Jake and their attention span. So, okay, we're right here. The 7, I may come back a little bit. 7 minutes, 6 second of a 55-minute video. Oh, by the way, the only 2 camps that, or the, what do they call them? They didn't call them camps. They called them companies. In the ancient world, when you had a bunch of prophets put together, they were called companies, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go double check that. See if I can spell the word company. I'm a lousy speller. Company. I know I spelled that wrong. Company. Company, by the way, means with bread. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. 1 Samuel 10 verse 5. That thou shalt meet a company of prophets. So the real word is not the actual word for a group of prophets is a company of prophets, not a camp. But we say camp. Everybody's used to camp. So let me come back over here. Okay, so like I said, the only 2 companies or camps that teach the new moon the correct way is Great Millstone and Sakari. And Sakari, the leadership at Sakari, got that from us, following us. What they did was the head leader came up under us, and he said, "Oh, that makes sense." He double checked it and says, "Yep, that makes sense. I'm gonna go with it." Same thing with the MOTB. He saw us. As the story goes, you can tell me no, it didn't go that way. Most High came to me in a vision. Okay, good. If you tell me that, I'll say I'm sorry. And then we're the only two groups, maybe a third, teach that the MOTB, M marker as a C, micro C hip, which these other groups don't teach. Which they're going to find out that they're wrong, because they're going to have to explain themselves. So let's let the video play. Fair use, fair use.
All right. Who's reading for me today?
Soldier Uzziah.
Soldier Uzziah. Who's that? Oh, okay. Soldier Uzziah. Gotcha. All right. Let's open up with Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. The fourth day of creation. Some of you know it, some of you don't. Fourth day of creation. Come on, Uzziah.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs."
I want y'all to notice this. It says, these lights that divide the day from the night are for signs. Go ahead.
And for seasons.
Seasons.
And for days.
Days.
And years.
And years. Come on.
And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven.
By the way, what does a sign mean? Let's deal with the word sign. Is alignment of the planets a sign? Yes. Is Halley's Comet, which came about some years ago, what was that, 89 or whatever, and it had 7 tails on it. You can see it in the sky for a period of time. And you saw the 7 tails behind that. And they said this is the first time. Matter of fact, I may even go into that. Let me go into that. The 7 tails of Halley's Comet. Let me do it this way. This seven tails of Halley's Comet. Okay, when can I see Halley's Comet 2023? Let me just look this up. December 9th, 2023, Halley's Comet is set to reach, what is that, Aphelion, whatever. Sunday, December 9th, that's 76. Bear with me. How many tails does Halley's Comet have? On this date, the comet was 99 million kilometers from the sun and 209 million kilometers from the earth. At least 7 tails can be seen, be discerned. And right, I was 86. I just came, I was like a year in the truth. It says it was on March 6, 1986. And I believe this was the only time that the Halley's Comet comes every so many years. And at that time you had 7 comets, 7 tails of Halley's Comets. Let me do something here. Because the bishop said, he said that the lights in the heavens are for signs. We're going to look up the word signs. And you can actually see it. I don't know how long, it was for weeks. Like every night you just see it and it looked like it was a still picture in the sky. but it was actually moving. But this time when it came, it get a good picture here. Okay, well, it was seven tails. This is not a very good picture, but I remember actually seeing it. And the next night you see it again, and it looked like it was in the same place. Because we're dealing with a thing called time-space continuum. You know, if something's so far away that it looks like it's not moving at all. So Halley's Comet was a sign. So now let's look up the word sign. And I'm gonna prove to you clearly that the new moon is a dark moon. Genesis 1 and 14. And now right there the word is Alahayim. You ask a church person, what does that mean, right? Well, it's talking about God. It's talking about Jehovah God. Ain't but one God, and that's Jehovah God. No. God, the Most High, the Father, is not even in this chapter. First time the Father is mentioned in Genesis is in Genesis chapter 2. For you wacky-tacky Christians out there. It says, and the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. How do we know from one day to the next day, from the day to the night? The sun, right? And let them be for signs and seasons and days and years. A year is a new moon, 12 new moon cycles, 12 moon cycles, right? A day is sun to sun, right? When the sun goes down, that's the beginning of, the twilight of a new day. Seasons, you have constellations that are in the heavens based upon the seasons. So the word I want to get into is signs. The word is awath. Sign, signal, a distinguishing mark, banner, remembrance, miraculous sign, omen, warning, token, ensign, standard, miracle, proof. Okay, so right here, okay, Genesis 9 verse 12, and the Most High said, this is the token, it's talking about the rainbow, of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature, which is the animals, that is with you for perpetual generations. Let me come back to the 11th, maybe even the 10th verse. I'm looking for the word bow. Give me a second. Okay. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token or a sign of a covenant, an agreement between me and the earth. So you got Vocab Malone saying, see, that was a covenant, see? That means the Lord came for all nations. No. It's a covenant. It's one covenant. It has nothing to do with the laws, the covenant that was given to Moses. There was many covenants that were given between the Most High and man. The bow and the cloud was one of them, and it was said for the covenant was made with creatures too. As Shamshan would say, creatures too. From the DMV, they got that accent. Anyway, so a sign is what? If you see Halley's Comet, I gotta explain it this way, because Negroes get stupid. If you see Halley's Comet, that's a sign from the Most High. If you see it, depending on where you are on the planet, there's a thing called Aurora Borealis. Now, scientifically, they can say, well, scientifically, it's this, the hot side of this, and when this chemical reaction, that's a sign, man. All right? Shooting stars is a sign. I remember as a kid, I would pray sometimes, pray to the Most High, didn't know his name at that time. And I would look up in the sky and I would see a shooting star, and I said, that's the Most High answering me. Oh, let me give you some more signs. Anything unusual that happens in the heavens, which the scientists can logically explain or break down, it's still a sign of the Most High. So is a lunar eclipse a sign of the Most High? Is a solar eclipse a sign of the Most High? Are comets signs of the Most High? When the time when the sun went back so many degrees backwards, I believe that was during the time of Joshua. I'm not going to go into it. Somebody can put it up in the comment section. Is that not a sign of the Most High? Oh no, lunar eclipse is just it's a sign. Scientifically, no, it's a sign of the Most High. When there was 3 hours of darkness, from the 6th hour to the 9th hour, the 6th hour to the 9th hour, which is what? Yeah, from 12 noon to 3 in the afternoon, over 2,000 years ago, when our Lord was on the cross, there was darkness for 3 hours. That's a sign. That's definitely a sign. Can it be scientifically explained? Yes. It's called, in science, it's called a solar eclipse. When does a solar eclipse take place? It can only take place when the moon is full. Yeah, but it was daytime. You couldn't see the moon. It's still the full moon. The night of a full moon, when the moon is full, that morning, it's still full moon, but you just can't see it. So when did the darkness fall on that area of the earth for 3 hours? What do they call it scientifically? They call it lunar eclipse. What does the scripture call it? Calls it a sign, an omen, an awath, or an oath. So what time of the season was that? That was in the beginning of spring. What high holy day was going on? the Passover. Did they sit down and eat the Passover? Yes, they did. Eat this bread in remembrance of me and my body. This bread represents my body. The wine represent my blood. You know, the part with the 70 got offended and left. Eat this wine, drink this wine, eat this bread in remembrance of me. When he was saying all that on the night of the Passover, it was the full moon. If the full moon is a new moon, you would celebrate the Passover when the moon is dark, which doesn't make sense at all. This is the only guy on the planet Earth, by the way, that teaches that. Edomite scholars, scientists, astrologers, historians, scholars will tell you, no, this guy's going off. But let's say he's right. The Most High gave him a special, I will do nothing but I will reveal my secrets unto my servants and prophets. So the Most High said, look, the new moon is the full moon, all right? I'm just giving it to you, Bishop Nathaniel, because you're special. You're as special. Okay, good. He gave it to him because he's special. So you mean to tell me the Most High, oh, and by the way, Bishop Nathaniel, my name is Yahweh, and my son's name is the Most High. So he gave him that secret and didn't give him the other secret? Fuck out of here, man. He just tried to be deep. As soon as he brought it, this was around about October of 2016, and we jumped right. No other camp jumped on it. The GMS jumped on it. The very time we saw that, we jumped on it, man, and we were going back and forth. So you got to watch this guy because he be going off. So now, let's continue to listen.
Heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And God made two great lights.
And he made what?
Two great lights.
Pay attention. Two great lights.
Keep in mind Romans 16, 16, and 17. Is it Romans 16, 16, and 17? Keep that in mind. T.D. Jakes. Keep Romans 16. I believe it's 16, 17, and 18. Verses 17 and 18. Let me go to it. Romans 16. You know what it says? For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shai, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. T.D. Jakes, he's out there, bro. There's a thing that they're going around now that this guy was dealing with some other guy, and he wear the fat as his ass, nigga looking like a black ugly beach whale, fat as his ass is, with a thong on, with a plate of a peach cobbler. Dude is a freak. He gets. That's why he said, any of you got this negative thing, just log off. You know, because it's coming out. Too many people are coming out on this dude. Anyway, that's but you know what? He's a slick. What's this guy? Eddie Long. He finessed them people, and they were notice they were women. You'll see a lot of men leaving that church, but a lot of those men, there's a big happy culture in the black church. Let me say that again. There's a big happy culture in the black church. I'm not saying all of them are into that, but among that real holy roller, them dress up on Sunday type of niggas, there's a big happy culture in the black church. A lot of them guys, them kids, that they get groomed. They get groomed. You know? So the Most High is getting ready to utterly just collapse the black church, because it's a lie straight out of hell. Let's come back over here now. Look at that. Satanic sign. Now, he could just be putting his fingers up that way. He could be eating the two lights. But if you want to get petty, that's a demonic sign right there. I don't think he was I don't think he was intending to put. He's like, now let me put up that goat of Mendez. No, he's going into two. That's how you say two. Okay. Because they did that to me. Look, we got a picture of Tahar. He had the monoconoto. Okay, well, if I got why would I tell you that the monoconoto is demonic, but then I would show the demonic? Why would Satan is about deception, man. Hey, look. Satan ain't going to tell you about himself and then saying that he's not Satan, he's an angel of light, but he's showing you a demonic symbol. So that he's just putting up that because he's talking about two lights. So we ain't gonna get on him about that.
That wording is very important. God made two great lights. Go ahead.
The greater light to rule the day.
That's the sun. Come on.
And the lesser light to rule the night.
That's the moon. Go ahead.
He made the stars also.
Read.
And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So this is the fourth day. So let's put everybody understands the sun, but the confusion always comes with the moon. God, what kind of...
and you're one of the authors of confusion. You bring confusion.
When he made the sun and the moon, what were they? Two great what? Lights. Put that on the screen. Yes. You can put the sun up too. Put the sun up beside each other. Yes. Is that on the screen? Which one is the screen? Okay. Those are the two great lights. The operative word you want is lights. The greater to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. Now put the phase of the moon up. So on this fourth day of creation, the Most High made two great lights. And like I said, put it on the screen. People get confused with the moon.
So now he brought up the wrong sign, because this is a dark moon and it says new. So this is the wrong poster to put up. This is the full moon and this is the new moon. So he's saying that the fourth day, the Most High put up, it doesn't say whether the moon looked like this or the moon looked like that, but let's go with that. Let's say it was a full moon to illustrate. What day did he put it up? So this is the wrong. He's showing you the cycles, the cycle of the moon, right? Showing you in the new moon what it looked like in the new moon, looked like in a full moon, right? So they're seeing something with their eyes, but they're hearing something else with their ears, and he's finessing them. Now, whether he's sincere, maybe he really believes, maybe he's there to deceive the people. Maybe he's deceived. Well, he's obviously deceived if he's sincere about this.
The great light of the moon is what they call today the full. The new moon they got over there is black. You can't barely see it.
And that's the right order. That's the right order. That's when the new moon comes in. When it's look in the sky, you don't see no moon. Or you might see an outline of the moon. This is not the full moon.
And for some reason, right, that's what they think that the Most keep it right there. Read verse 16 again, Officer Uzziah.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night.
The lesser light to rule the night. Light, rule the night. Light, rule the night. Why can't English is fundamental? Reading is fundamental. From there, give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 39. In the Apocrypha, chapter 39 and verse 12.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39 and verse 12. Yet have I more to say, which I have thought upon, for I am filled as the moon at the full.
So he said he is filled as the moon at the full. Full of what? Light, wisdom. That's what he's talking about. He said, where was that at? Verse 12. Yet have I more to say, which I have thought upon, for I am filled as the moon at the full. Meaning when the moon is full of. That's what God made in Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. The two great lights. That's what we're reading about.
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. What day did he make it? The fourth day, right?
There. Give me chapter 43 and verse 6 of Ecclesiasticus.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43 and verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season.
Talking about on the fourth day of creation, he made the moon also to serve in her season.
For a declaration of time.
For a declaration of times.
And a sign of the world.
And a sign of the world.
Sign meaning omen. Comets, shooting stars, asteroids, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse.
From the moon is the sign of feast.
From the moon is the sign of feast. Go ahead.
A light.
A what?
A light.
A what?
A light. That decreaseth in her perfection.
So the moon is a light. Can you put the put it back on the screen. Yep. Put it right back up there. The moon is a light that decreases. So it starts at this this pinnacle, and then it begins to decrease. Okay? That's what the Bible, that's what the Most High.
No, that's clearly wrong. That same chapter that you're reading, it says in its perfection, in its perfection, in its perfection. Anything that you get, a fruit, anything you get, the fruit got to ripe. It's not in its perfection, right? When is the moon in its perfection? Right here. A moon doesn't just pop up out of nowhere and is full. This is an imperfect moon. This is getting close to perfect because you can see some light, you see some more light, you see some light. Now the moon is perfect. So it's a process between this and this, which is 2 weeks, 15 days. Then it starts to wane. Waning should be over here. This is not waxing, it's waning. It waxes on, it's waning. It's waning. It should be waxing. So in order for something to come to its perfection, if you're a bodybuilder, right, you start off as a skinny guy, you start lifting weights, grow a little muscles, you lift some more weight. After a year, you kind of got it built. It might take you 5 years of dedication to bodybuilding to get that perfect body. It might take you 10 years. You don't just go to the gym and you built. You take a pill and all of a sudden you look like Ronnie Coleman. I saw Ronnie Coleman when he first got into bodybuilding. He was very athletic, but he didn't have the muscles that he had. And it took years for him to build himself. And there was a point where he won those 8 Mr. Olympias, back to back, I believe, he was in his perfection. 8 years of perfection. Then he started to wane. So there's always a beginning point.
God is saying. Go ahead.
The
Seven
month
again.
is
From the moon again. 7 again.
from the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
That decreases in her.
The moon is a sign of feast. He's saying the moon is the full moon, right? The moon is a sign of feasts with an S. The Passover, when does the Passover come in? According to them, the Passover will come in when the moon is dark. How do you explain when Yahushua was put on the cross on the 15th day in the daytime? How do you explain a lunar eclipse? Scientifically, they call it a lunar eclipse. Biblically, it's called a sign.
Perfection. Go ahead.
It starts dark. It's actually waxing. I don't know where this came from. It's actually waxing, meaning it's growing. And here it's waning. Then it comes to, over here, it's not perfect. Right here is perfect.
The month is called after her name.
The word month is where comes from the word moon. Go ahead.
Increasing.
Then it says, wait. Now it says increasing. Go ahead.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
So now remember, the first term it said light, then it says decreases in her perfection. Then it says increasing wonderfully in her changing. So there's phases of the moon. It starts, put it back on the screen, right? It starts at its full brightness.
Doesn't start as full brightness. It does not start when it's full brightness. It starts right here. This is called in its infancy stage. This is when it's perfected. Man, they start as infants. They become toddlers, terrible 2s, 3s. They go to kindergarten. You can't go, when you're 5 years old, okay, we're going to send you to Yale University. You're going to be lost at Yale University. There's stages. There's degrees. Same thing with the moon. The moon has phases. Same thing with the sun. The sun has phases and stages. This is where it starts at. But because these guys look at him as God Almighty, they're not going to question it.
Then it decreases. You go counterclockwise. It decreases. Then it increases. Reading is fundamental.
Okay, it says it increases, right? Let me go to that precept and bring this over. Hold up, did I go to the right? Oh, I'm sorry. Ecclesiasticus. I'm sorry, that's Ecclesiastes. I wanted Ecclesiasticus. Let me do it this way. 1 Mac. Bear me for a minute. from the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection. Her perfection is when it's full, when it's bright. A sign of the world. What is a sign of the world? The lunar eclipse is a sign to the world, right? That's why the Roman officer said, surely this is the son of the Most High, because he saw the darkness when they got nervous. Here they are, they put him on the cross like any other man. They put him on the cross, and all of a sudden everything goes dark. When it's high noon, when it's the sun is highest in the sky, when it's the most brightest in the springtime, and here everything goes dark, and not for 3 hours. That can only happen on a full moon. That can only happen on a full moon. The Passover was celebrated on a full moon. The starting point of the Passover is the new moon, 14 days of evening, which is the new moon. Right? So he's finessing these people.
Where we at, Uzziah?
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and by the way, he supposedly started the IUIC back in 2003. 3 years later, he got it on YouTube. 2003 to 2016 is how many years? 13 years. So the Most High allowed him to keep the new moon, the dark moon, for 13 years. Then all of a sudden the Most High said, okay, nah, keep it the right way. Doesn't make any sense.
Being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
Shining in the firmament of heaven. Being an instrument of the armies above. The armies.
Yeah, it shines when the moon is full. Doesn't say anything about, oh, by the way, this is the new moon. Doesn't say that in the scriptures. That's why he's got to speak over what he's reading.
Above refers to the angelic host. Okay? Hey, put up that NASA to launch. I sent the link to you, I believe.
By the way, I don't know if he's going to go into it. Now, technically, if the new moon is a full moon and you're going to, let's say, keep the Passover, it says the Passover comes in on the new moon, which is a full moon according to you. It comes in on the 14th day from the new moon, which is the full moon. That would mean that your Passover would have to be kept on the 18th day of the month at evening. Am I correct? He said, you can go back, bring it back. He said that the new moon is the full moon because of Jeremiah 1 verse 14. So if that's the case, then your Passover would have to be on the 18th day, 18 days after the full moon, at evening, which is the 19th day. Because you're saying that it was on the 4th day, so there's 4 days in. So how could the new moon, be on the 1st day when it's the 4th day and it's technically the 4th day? See, when you stop and think, then you can see right through it. Scriptures speak about in Revelation 3 about the Most High, about eye salve, that thou may see. See, we see through this, man. And we also call that ancient times, prophets are called seers. What does the word seer mean? It means to see. The word is ra'ah, which means to see. What did they see? They saw through things that the average person couldn't see. They saw the future.
NASA to launch. Okay. Yeah, that's it right there. Put that on the screen. No. Just one.
And see, this is what gets to people. You see this angelic garment that he's wearing? See how he got his hair set up on the back? This gots to be the truth. And that's what mega churches. Hey, Farrakhan, go to where he has his meetings. That's a palatial building right there. T.D. Jakes, a palatial building that can hold thousands of people. And that's what people, like I said, Jake, and I said this before, say it again. I'm going to keep on saying it. Jake buys a car like Jake's find a religion like they buy a car. If the car looks nice, well, Jake gets liquor because they listen to rappers. Rapper says Belvedere, nigga gonna get Belvedere. Nigga don't know the difference between the taste of a Belvedere between a Belvedere and a Gorky's vodka. You don't know the difference. But that's how a ninja operates. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. I wanted to get into the honoring the name, but I went kind of long. Anyway, give your feedback on this. Shalom.